The Crew. This really is the pinnacle of trick-taking games. Now, trick-taking as a genre has been around forever, but with each new game that comes out, we're getting more fresh twist on this genre. So I have 3 games for you that I'm going to review right now, and we're going to see how awesome they are and how do they stack up in the trick-taking mountain of awesomeness. The accusations will fly in one of the most interactive trick-taking games I've ever played. Now we know social deduction. Why not Ultimate Werewolf? The Resistance. There's so many social deduction games out there. But can this really, truly work in a trick-taking format? The first game we're going to talk about is Inside Job. Now, why should you actually care about Inside Job? Well, because of a couple of reasons. First things first, have a look at these. We have mission cards, similar to The Crew. In each one of these games, you're going to be trying to complete missions to actually win a trick. Yes, it's cooperative, but it's only cooperative for a bunch of people, and that is the agents right there. So cooperative for the agents, but there's going to be one insider who's going to be trying to be sneaky, maybe lose some tricks, win some tricks, basically just trying to make sure that all of the agents don't win those missions. Inside Job is super simple. 4 suits of cards numbered 1 to 13. If you've played The Crew, then you're going to know what it's like to play cooperatively to achieve these missions. Also, on top of that, whoever actually wins the trick wins this intel case. Here's the next problem. If you're the insider and you win enough of these cases, you're going to win the game. Also, you're trying to sabotage the mission because you don't want the agents to win. Look, it's pretty simple stuff. Add in the advanced mode where we have asymmetric powers for all of our agents and also for the insider. We can also do some gambling. There's a whole bunch of extra stuff inside of this box. This is trick taking, but with a social deduction twist. Welcome to another episode of Hogs' Cooking. Look, today we're going to be making some critter soup. So come and join me at the stovetop while we make some beautiful looking soup. And to start off this soup, we start off with 3 fresh bananas right there. Next up, we're going to need 2 apples, a red and a green. That is perfect, looking good. And lastly, some nice fresh cucumbers. They're going to go in there. But the special ingredient, the piece de resisto, we have a stinky old boot. So we get in there, give that a bit of a stir. Stir, 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 and out comes Foodie Forest. So what is Foodie Forest and why should you actually care? Well, in this small box is 2 game-changing mechanics. Look, we have these 5 cards, which you don't know what they are, and then we have these cards, which you don't know what they are. But trust me, they're really good. Foodie Forest is trick-taking innovation. Look, let's go through what we have new in this. 4 suits. Look, that's pretty standard. We have trash, we've got bugs, we've got fruit, and we've got vegetables. They're numbered 0 to 5, plus also the number 10. Now, why do we have such weird numbers? You know, standard trick-taking, we go around a circle, each person plays 1 card, trying to follow the lead suit if you can, and then whoever wins the trick, wins the trick. This now, we're going around and we're counting numbers. Once we've reached the number 10 or higher, whoever plays that last card wins the trick. Now, this shouldn't work so magically, but it really does, and it changes the whole aspect of trick-taking. I absolutely love that mechanic, but I also love this as well. What we have here is every person around the table will have 5 recipe cards. Now, these recipe cards, what happens is we get to choose secretly, don't show anyone, and then we get to place it down for that round. So you can play 1 card per round over the 5 rounds. We're eventually going to go through all of them. But what it's basically telling us here, this one's saying we're going to get 1 point for each bug. That's awesome. So we're trying to collect bug cards as we're going around playing our tricks. But we're losing points for the trash cards. So that's pretty bad. Now we've got the fruits exactly the same. We've got the vegetable exactly the same. What we've got here, trash card. We're trying to win trash cards. That's awesome. But we don't want to win. We don't want to win the cards with leaf symbols. There's a few cards with leaf symbols in there. Lastly, this one here, really cool. You start off with 5 points, but you lose a point for every single card you get. So you're trying to win no tricks. It's devastating, this card, but it's brutally brilliant. Look, that's the new mechanics in Foodie Forest. I absolutely found myself in love with this. Plays amazing at 3 to 4, while Inside Job plays amazing at 5. So there's 2 small box games. Let's talk about a bigger trick-taking game. Well, is it trick-taking? There's a lot of controversy over that. Oh, Tidal Blades Banner Festival. I hope you're still watching because, oh my goodness, this game was the best. It was, it was something special. So my partner, who hates trick-taking, absolutely adored this game. My friends who love heavier Euros adored this game. I absolutely adore this game. It plays amazing at 2 and 3 players. How is that even possible for a trick-taking game? There's so much to love. So let's get into why this game is the best of all of these. Yeah, they're all great games, but this was the pick of the bunch. Thematically, we are in the Tidal Blades universe. We've got the Tidal Blades game, we've got an RPG, look, there's expansions. Anyway, it's a beautiful looking universe, and we now have this standalone Banner Festival. What we have here is a lot going on in front of us. Let's break down this board so we can understand this game. A couple of things to note here, 3 different ways of scoring. It's trick-taking, but it's trick-taking simultaneously, which is quite different. We have some squishy fruit. Let's go over everything. Firstly, we are split in half. Now, the board split in half happens for end of round scoring. 3 rounds in a game, and the amount of banners you have on that half will give you the most points. So, cool, we have area majority in that aspect. The second one we have here is this trade gate. This trade gate is going to move around outside of here. This is the watercraft section in the middle, and wherever it lands, it's going to tell us the value of the suits for that particular round. So each quadrant has different value on the suits. So let's have a look at the suits here. We've got 4 colors. There we go. Break that out there. 4 color suits. And look, on this quadrant, yellow is now the highest value suit, followed by blue, followed by purple, followed by orange being the weakest suit. Now what happens is we're all going to pick a card. We're going to put it down like that, then simultaneously flip it over, and we're going to have one person's going to win, one person's going to come last, and 2 people will come in the middle. So this is where it doesn't matter if we're playing a 2 or 3 player game, the bot will play an extra couple of players for us so that it always plays at least with 4 players there. Now, if you win, awesome. You'd be happy normally because trick-taking is all about winning, isn't it? But there's no losers in Tidal Blades Banner Festival. So, first place person, you get to move your watercraft all the way around and stop it at the trade gate. That's fun, but what do you get out of it? Well, you get these cards. Every time you go around the track once, you get to flip over another card. And as you go higher up this, you're going to get more value, more points at the end of the game. So that's one way of scoring points. Okay, let's imagine now you've become second or third. Second or third, we get to place out one of our wonderful little banners in that quadrant. Look, if there's no spots there, I put it here, over there, and now that's going to help us with the area majority at the end of round scoring. Now, last place. What happens to people who get last place? They used to get rewarded because on the bottom of the card that they played, they get to do an action, and some of these actions are pretty cool. This one is Adventure Watercraft, 1 space for each banner you have in that region, in that half of the board. So that's a pretty good card. So look, there's lots of ways of scoring there. But the last way of scoring is a little squishy little fruit. Well, it's a little bit hard, but still squishy. Squishy fruit. Over the course of the game, you're going to be collecting these fruit. Then once all of these fruit are gone, a feast is going to happen and we're going to score for whoever has the most fruit. And that's going to happen a few times during the game there. And that is the third way of scoring. At the end of the game, count up everything. Count up what card you end up there. We're going to have all these points here that you're going to get over each round. It's just a beautiful, simplistic game that I, like I said, absolutely loved. But the argument here is it really true trick-taking? By the letter of the law, this actually isn't true trick-taking because we're playing hidden, we're playing simultaneously, we're hiding it. It's basically just, cool, a random thing at the end, who's going to be the winner. But does it really matter that the mechanism has evolved, has changed? I think it still falls under the trick-taking ideal of trying to win a trick. But in this instance, sometimes you don't want to win. Sometimes you're actually aiming to become last because last might get you a really good reward on the bottom of your card. There's just so many facets that make this game simple, easy to teach, easy to get to the table anytime, and people are going to love it. Look, that's what trick taking's about. It's, we've evolved from those old card games to something new like this, something new like Foodie Forest, and adding in deduction like Inside Job. It's just such a simple mechanic that gives us some unique new games that I am so excited to play.